Your house is worth whatever it's worth, right? Whoever sells it. Wrong. I'm Charlie. Welcome to Moving Home with Charlie, and thank you for coming.
Charlie Landing grew up in Sussex, is the founder of Best Agent and presenter of Moving Home with Charlie.
If you want to find one of these guys, look out for those compassionate professionals. All estate agents are not the same.
So Charlie, what would be your advice for people interested in buying new builds right now?
Don't overpay. Do buy, but don't overpay. That's why I say disregard the guff. Read into the numbers and look, and it's buried. The bad news is buried in the small print, okay?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Property Press Awards.
They may or may not be telling the truth, but you should form your own view. Get out and view, get out and view, get out and view. You cannot be in a position to make offers and have the offers accepted if you're not viewing. Just be out there viewing. Pay attention to the back of the class. If you've not been watching my videos, I did one just a couple of days ago. Disregard the guff, guys. Hi there, Charlie Lambden here, and I had this question come into me from a follower on TikTok. And it's a very good question that a lot of sellers are thinking right now. And although I've answered it before, I thought I would do an updated and fresh answer on this question. Now, for those of you who haven't got time to watch me ramble on for 15 minutes, which is my target length for this video, 15 minutes, the answer is that in order to find the right answer to that question for you, you need to find, and they are difficult to find, you need to go and find the rare estate agent that knows the answer to this question for you. Because the answer to this question depends on a number of different things. How urgent is your sale? What is your reason for selling? Is it a probate sale? Are you selling to move house? Is your move time pressured? Are you selling an investment property? Are you selling a tenanted property? Are you selling to then go and rent or to move abroad? Or are you selling to buy? What position of life are you in? What's the family situation? What's your financial situation? And of course, what type of property is it? Because in the same town, flats and houses might be doing very different things. The market for them might be very different. And what's the general market doing in terms of prices for properties like yours? The answer for every individual seller is going to be different. Now, a crap agent will say, oh, it's always a good time to sell. And the most agents, ordinary, average, mediocre agents, just want your listing, okay? Then you've got the slightly better than average ones, but they're still not really good enough, who will want your listing but want to sound professional and say, yeah, wait for the spring. I, generally speaking, and this is general advice, and you must go and get a really good agent to get specific advice for you, because all agents are not the same, like I said in the intro, they absolutely aren't. And how much you get for your house and how soon you get it will depend more on your choice of agent than anything else, okay? But when the housing market is generally on the up, as it was up until about 2022, from about 2009, generally on the up, different speeds, whatever, this was a lower risk decision. Should I put it on the market now? Wait till the spring. When the market's kind of ticking up and moving in a positive direction, and the trading volumes are quite good, it's a low risk decision whether you choose to put it on the market now or in the spring. Of course, assuming that you get a good agent. If you get a bad agent, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to sell it, or you're going to sell it at a low value. But as most people with their head in the real world know, the housing market has not been generally on the up for the last couple of years, and certain levels of the housing market have been significantly down. So, for example, the higher end of the market has been coming down much faster than the lower end of the market. First-time buyer markets have typically been doing better than second and higher end properties. But because we are in a market that, in my view, is trending flatline at best and downwards overall, but that's a broad brush average, there is a much bigger risk to getting the answer to this question wrong now. And Put simply, the risk is that if you wait now, it's going to be even harder to sell in the spring than it is now. And generally speaking, if selling is important, and by that I mean if selling is a mandatory, a compulsory, non-optional thing for you, if you are going to have to sell, my view is in this market, that I'll come on to the exceptions in a moment, do not delay. Do not delay. Now, I've been saying this for the last 2 years. A lot of people have ignored me to their cost, and some of them have actually been good enough to say to me, yeah, we didn't sell when you said we should, and we should have done, and now we can't sell. Now we're stuck. Now we're going to have to rent it out or something. But whether you put, whatever time of the year you choose to put your house on the market, what's more important than the time of year is how well it is brought to the market, how well it is positioned and presented and promoted by your agent. That's the most important thing. Are there certain markets where seasonality makes a difference? Yes, there definitely are. And that's why getting a really professional agent who knows that is good. Are there a lot of agents who think they know what they're doing, but they don't? Yes. Is it easy to find the agents that do know what they're doing? No, but generally speaking, those agents charging higher fees tend to do so because they know that there's more skill and work involved in getting a good price for a house than other agents. And to agents charging higher fees do so not because their customers are stupid and just happy to pay higher fees, but because they actually are better at achieving better results. So if you are, a lot of sellers start out, especially first time, thinking, well, I mean, my house is worth whatever it's worth. Like I said in the intro, right? Doesn't matter who sells it. That's your first major mistake. The sale of a property can be plus or minus 5% on the central band of what it could be sold for, depending on your choice of agent and how well they market it and how well you work with that agent, right? Doesn't matter what you think your house is worth. Doesn't matter what your house is actually worth. The point is, it can get more than it's worth and it can get less than it's worth based on your choice of agent. So please, if you only take away one thing from this video, it is choose your agent like your future depends on it. Because if you need to sell in this market, it does. It does. And remember this thing, right? Don't ask the agent what they think your home is worth, because none of them know. None of them will admit that to you because it's the only question sellers ask. How much is my house worth? How much is my house worth? How much is my house worth? Even chartered surveyors who are qualified don't know for sure what your home will sell for, because the number of variables that affect the price you finally achieve for your home is outside anyone's capacity to predict. Okay. And in this video, I haven't got enough time to go into the details why. But for example, let's say you get an agent that chooses 2 or 3 or 4, you get 4 offers on your house, right? And that agent's inexperience leads them to recommend the wrong offer. And that offer falls through. And by the time it falls through 7 months down the line, the market's moved and you can't sell. Like, those are the kind of expensive mistakes that don't cost the agent anything, but they cost you everything. If you don't get an agent who's got the skill and experience to go, right, we have procured you multiple offers. They may or may not be disappointing, but this is the market for your property. Because, by the way, that is the market for your property. Competing funded buyers, that is the market for your property. Not what you think, not even what your agent thinks. It's that. And it changes every week, okay, depending on all kinds of other things. So that's the market for your property right now. And what you need is an agent that knows how to get those offers, how to make sure they're well qualified, how to make sure the buyers are serious buyers, and how to recommend you the offer that's got the highest chance of proceeding. Okay, so if I had to provide a general answer to this question, I don't think there's going to be a spring bounce. I could be wrong. Don't listen to me. Don't assume that I'm right. But that is my opinion. And that's my opinion based on 30 years of working in the property market. There will be exceptions. There are markets where certain classes of property are selling like hotcakes now, even in this difficult market. There are markets where that is happening. And that's why you have to go and talk to a good agent. Don't just talk to any agent. Don't listen to anyone that goes, I'm an estate agent. Well, anyone who says I'm an estate agent, the chances are they're not a great one, right? And you won't get great advice, right? There no qualifications, no long how long. Like if you're talking to an agent that's got their own name above the door, they've been running their own business, they've been around for a very long time, they've got experience to bring to that answer to your question. Here's another reason why waiting for the spring bounce can be a mistake, because lots of sellers are going to do that. And the smart sellers will get sold before then and not be part of that stamp season. By the way, don't forget, Rightmove has just last week told us that we've got more homes for sale on the market than any time in the last 10 years. Okay, so you've already, generally speaking, there will be exceptions, but you've already got more competition than at any time to sell your home in the last 10 years. Another word of warning I would give you is that sorry, I'm just looking at some of these comments here. Another word of warning I would give you is that don't read national house price headlines. They are always overly optimistic, right? Give you an example. Rightmove's house price index isn't a house price index. It's not the prices that houses sell at. It's not even the prices that houses go under offer at. It is the asking prices, the initial asking prices, including everything that doesn't sell and including everything that goes on to be reduced later, but that reduction is not factored into the price. So all the newspapers love to talk about Rightmove's house price index when it comes out and talk about record prices. These are asking prices. These are wishful thinking prices. These are fantasy prices, and they bear no relation to what you will get for your home. So you just disregard national house price figures, okay? They are irrelevant to your situation. Yeah, Miss Jane says, the wait until spring crowd last year didn't win when this question came up. Quite right. So do we have any sellers? Okay, Chen Gutu says, will the stamp duty rise push people to buy or sell quicker before the rise? I mean, guys, you will not, like, we're very nearly in November, right? The average time between finding a buyer and exchanging is currently between 4 and 5 months. The average time to find a buyer is currently 2 months. So you're talking that the average time is 6 to 7 months. You've already missed the stamp duty threshold deadline. If you aren't already on the market with offers coming in, you have most likely, unless you've got a great agent and you're selling chain free, you've already missed that situation, right? There's no chance, unless you come to market very quickly, very well, with a very good agent, there is no chance now no realistic chance of selling your house before Christmas. If you get your property contract ready, if you find a really good agent and you come to market with a contract ready, no chain property to sell, priced correctly and presented well, and you find a cash buyer or a mortgage buyer that's ready to move very fast, yeah, you might just squeak it in before Christmas and get an exchange for Christmas. But that would be extremely unusual and extremely rare. But it's not impossible. But for the average, for most people, because most people in the moving market are completely unaware of the true state of affairs, you're not, if you're just thinking about starting the process now, you're talking about summer next year before you complete. I've had an email, which I will share on another video, of a long email of feedback from a buyer who said it took them 18 months of constant hard work. They finally completed and moved in, but it took them 18 months. All right. Just looking at to see if there are any more relevant questions to this video. Yeah, Abigail says it's always a good time to sell isn't true. Correct. Find a good agent that will deliver the buyer. That's only the first hurdle. That's also correct. It is not always a good time to sell. And of course, the answer to the good time to sell is, well, it depends. Why do you need to sell? Do you have a family emergency that means that you need to relocate within the next 3 months? Well, then You haven't got any choice. You need to sell right now. Are you about to default on your mortgage? Then you need to sell right now. Is it a good time to sell? Generally speaking, that comes from people who are looking to sell and then buy. I would think a lot of downsizers look at this now. You have, I've got to just react to that comment. Sorry. Yeah, you have, there are downsizers. I had people on X last week saying, we thought buying a nice house with a mortgage a few years ago would be good for our, however long ago it was, would be good for our pension. When we'd wait for it to go up and then we'd sell it, downsize, and have the difference for our pension. That backfired with exact words. We have downsized because we couldn't afford to keep the bigger house anyway because interest rates went up and heating bills went up. The home we moved into, so our house value went down. The homes we were downsizing to went up, and we don't have enough left for a pension, which is what I warned 2 years ago was happening, and very few people listened to me. Right, guys. Do I have any more questions? Any questions from sellers on this that I haven't answered? No, I can't see any. So, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. Forward this on to anyone you know that's thinking about selling or not. Thank you all for attending the live stream, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. By the way, yes, if you don't know how to find an agent, you want to choose an agent, go to bestagent.co.uk. My website, bestagent.co.uk. Click on Find Your Agent, and the agents. It's patchy coverage at the moment, but it's improving. Some of the better agents are already there waiting to talk to sellers. And you can invite them to talk to you without revealing your contact information. They can send you a video message. Try it out. Otherwise, if you don't already have it, get my weekly housing market newsletter there. That's free. Comes out every Friday morning. Every Friday, not always in the morning. And that's the other golden rule. If you are selling, this will save you time and save you money as a seller. If you are selling, choose your conveyancer before you choose your agent. Why? Because that shows the agent that you are a committed and serious seller, not a, I might do, I might not. Therefore, you can get yourself a better fee from the agent, even the really good agents. Like an agent that normally charges 2% to sell because they're really, really good would probably reduce that to 1.75 or 1.5% if you went to them saying, I've already got a conveyancer and I'm already contract ready. I'm coming to the market to sell. Okay, so a significant reduction on your agent fee from a really good agent by having your conveyancer lined up first. And if you want to talk to my guys, my award-winning conveyancing partners, you can talk to them there. Also, the other thing is make sure you've spoken to your independent mortgage broker before you move as well, to make sure you know what your financial situation is, so that if you need to sell and then buy, you do need to get your property under offer before your bids on new places will be taken seriously. At least you're going to know what your borrowing capacity is for that move. And there we are, guys. I will wrap up. Still less than 20 minutes. It's quite close to my 15-minute target. Thanks for watching. I'm just looking at some of the comments coming in. Steph May says, well, when is the best time to sell then? Go back to the start of the video, watch the beginning. Have I not answered that question? Have I not answered that question? I'd like to think I have. Shakil Ahmed says, why do agents and solicitors drag out the process? Most people want to move ASAP. Agents don't drag the process out. However, the excessive overvaluing agents know that by overvaluing a property is going to be sitting on the market for a long time, which is why they try and make you sign up to a long sole agency contract. By the way, never sign a long sole agency contract. Good solicitors will speed up your transaction. Bad or average solicitors will slow it down, and that's why you must choose your conveyancer very carefully, very well as well. By the way, guys, my conveyancers, the ones I work with, are outstanding and very fast, and they have no delays because someone's on holiday or someone's off sick or that person. You get very, very quick responses and very, very quick service from the guys I work with. Oh, Stacy says, I'm a first-time buyer in a chain. Should I be worried about stamp duty? It depends on what the price of the property is, depends on what stage you are in the chain. But your question is, if your question is, might the stamp duty change affect you if you don't exchange contracts by the 31st of March next year? The answer is yes, it most likely will affect you. There is a page on that. If you just Google stamp duty threshold change, go to the Gov website, you'll find out exactly what it is, because it changes all the bands. If your chain is moving along nicely, hopefully not. I don't know what price you're at. I don't know what stage you're at, but yes, there is a chance it could affect you.